So I run a podcast called False Advertising. The show revolves around taking deep dives into our assumptions. We take a look at something that seems straightforward, and we challenge what we know about it. Now, the unique thing about our show is we run it live. Oh, hey, how's it going, dude? So you'll find that before and after the show, we have a lot of really cool conversation with the chat. That'll be the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I feel bad that this is kind of like not in the recorded episode.
Podcast.
We go on wild tangents. I'm gonna look into a bunch of domain extensions now. Maybe this should be our fucking show. We'll just go over stupid domain memes. We have funny moments. Dot Foundation is a thing? Dude, imagine like buying simp.foundation and it just redirects to somebody's OnlyFans.
Takes you straight to a tier 3 Pokimane sub. You just click on it and it's like, hi, enter your credit card information.
So true.
That's just what the website is. So.
And sometimes further discuss things that we glossed over in the show.
There is a bunch of people that are borderline slaves.
But like, what does the ideal business model look like? So I'd like to present to you some good snippets that I haven't shown on YouTube before. If you find value in them the way that I do, consider joining us every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm pretty sure almost every combination, like every permutation of 2 letters back to back is exists. So as long as you have a word, you can basically make it anything you want and have it.
I think it'd be really funny to buy like a domain that was just like a pure meme. What do you purchase flat.earth? Is that a domain? Screw that. That's 100,000 pounds. No way I'm buying that. I hate scalpers, man.
Fuck scalpers.
Look at this. Fucking flat.earth is 100,000 pounds.
Of course it is.
It's so
of
funny.
Of course it is.
I
would love, oh dude, it'd be really easy. You know what it would be?
What?
I would just have I would just put a live stream to whatever of the International Space Station from NASA's feed with bold letters, it's not period. And then that would be the entire website. And anywhere you click, it just takes you to a bunch of articles or research.
That's so funny.
It's not worth 100,000 pounds though.
No.
Your mom. Just your mom. Is mom a domain? Could you own your.mom?
Oh, I don't know, dude. Let's go to Mom is a domain.
Your.mom and your.dad would be a beautiful, beautiful combination.
What about your proper spelling, mom? Your mom is an actual website. Is this real? Yes. Who is your mom for? Pranksters, swashbucklers, inboxers, your actual mom. How do I get your mom? Step 1, tell us what address you'd like. I've availably filled a subscription at $1.90 for $2 a month. That's hilarious.
What the fuck? That's so good.
So they just use it at like your.mom as like an email address system. That's great.
That's cute. That is cute.
I love that. Yourmom.ca is not taken though. $3.
Very, very short domains are always there's bots that'll pop most times whenever this happened basically when that shit came out. Like when all those new TLDs came out, top level domains where it's got all the different extensions. There's just bots that bought every 1 and 2 and most of the common, basically every 2-letter combination will be bought up by bots because it's just short and they'll sell them to scalpers.
Imagine having that much money. It's crazy because I feel like we really went in for a good hour and a bit there, and there's still so much we could talk about. Man, we didn't even talk about the implications of a place like 10 Trees and the fact that planting trees is not enough. Right? We didn't talk about how the Body Shop tries to go cruelty free, but kind of sways back and forth depending on how much pressure is put on them, and I think that's nuts. Right?
There's it all circles back to the thing of it can kind of be summarized, which is it's a little defeatist, and it's why I don't know, it'll be a sad episode. I was trying to how do I keep this optimistic? Or maybe I just give up and be sarcastic and cynical the entire time. I don't know where I landed. But there's this whole fucking with everything is shit. Any company you look at for long enough is just going to be a literal shit pile. You're going to look at it and you'll be like, damn, that sucks. And I feel the kind of one truth, the very defeatist truth that I've yet to be proven wrong on, except for the odd and end here and there.
Yeah.
If it is a large profitable business, Like basically any multinational corporation that is profitable
Right.
and making money, if they are multinational and they're making money,
Someone's
they are most likely doing. It's not good. Like, you can break it down, and something is going to make you sad. There's an animal getting its like shin getting kneecapped for its production. There is a clean water source that they're just pissing in. There is a bunch of people that are borderline slaves. Like, there's just no way around it. One of those three, you know what I mean? Like, there's just some corner or something that is happening. And it's just so sad because they're all trying to do this marketing now about like, we know this is wrong. We don't care. I mean, we care. We're still going to do it, but we care. So it's different. Instead of us going and sexually assaulting you, we're now going to tell you ahead of time and do it anyway. And it's like, great, thanks, I guess. But anyway.
So then what does the better business model look like? And I feel bad that this is kind of like not in the recorded episode. Podcast. But like I'll probably maybe add the insert later. But like, what does the ideal business model look like, right? Because I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm kind of caught back and forth between like maybe like this is bad, but McDonald's is probably like the ideal kind of thing where like what you do is you build a business in like a new area. It is run by a local. Right, so let's say you're like a designer fashion brand, right? You should probably make a store and franchise it somewhere, or like an outlet and franchise it somewhere. And instead of shipping your goods from all over the world, you keep the price point relatively the same, but you have it sourced and designed and whatever locally. So you have a factory in the States, in Canada, in Italy, in Russia, wherever you sell your product, right? And you just apply the same business model there. So it's like a whole bunch of smaller companies in a sense that just go one place instead of just kind of like beating the dead horse and shipping it all over the world. You know, if you try and like emulate the local approach to something, and then you just have that like on a multinational scale, is that better?
I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Allow me to introduce you to what they teach us is the correct solution in business school. Mm-hmm. We talk about the sustainable business model canvas. Wow. Everybody loves, that's my favorite word in business school has been the word sustainable. Mm-hmm. And regenerative business, you know, the net zero cost structure. It's chock full of so much just business jargon and shit. And it makes me want to puke and throw up because it's just so, it's like, damn, our solution to fight these problems that capitalism has given us is let's just return to capitalism and monetize this idea. It's such a funny, fundamental like mindset thing. We're going to just like, we've now monetized and commodified the solution to the problem that doing commodification is produced in the first place. And it's just like, damn, I just paid money for them to teach me this anyway. Okay. It isn't a horrible premise. It's basically like your approach to designing value proposition. Okay. Should you basically find an idea where your production feeds back into the supply chain? Like, it's basically just that idea of completing the loop. It has a bunch of generic ass buzzwords, but it's basically that things don't go from like manufacturing to retail to landfill. It's that it goes from retail back into manufacturing somehow.
Well, yeah, like if you look at it the same as fucking Ponzi schemes, right? If your resource is like just kind of like depleted, like over time, like unless there's a feedback loop.
Exactly.
There's the glass ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen liked implementations of these that are kind of better on paper than they are in practice. It's like H&M's recycle goods for 15% off. Mm-hmm. That kind of encourages clothing you buy from H&M to come back and get deposited. And they claim it is done back into the production cycle, but like really it's just like a kind of front for like, yeah, we can take like 5% of this, I guess, or it gets like shipped off to ruin economies in some third world nation. Oh, dude, I should have mentioned this is like a completely tangential thing. On a bunch of clothing on fast food or fast fashion distributors, they'll have that recycled or like sustainable logo on their tags for clothing, right? You've seen that shit?
Yeah.
A lot of those is because the label is made out of recycled material and it has nothing to do with the garment. A lot of those will be done and put on there because what they'll do is they'll have their sustainable line of clothing that they'll put like sustainable on, and then they'll have just the recycling icon they put on everything else. All that recycling icon means is like the cardboard is recycled that they printed the actual.
I didn't even get into this earlier. But fucking okay,
Greenwashing.
I did this fucking bullshit on fair trade, right? Like I had to do this big like research on how the chocolate industry is fucking terrible, right? Like it's like half a step better than the sugarcane industry was like pre-Abraham Lincoln, right? Like it was so bad, like cotton, like same kind of shit going on in the Ivory Coast. And so the proposed fix to that was fair trade, because if you're certified fair trade, your employees are employees and not slaves. They're treated well. But then you look deeper into it, and it's the same as fucking mining in the 1800s. Yeah, you know, you do make a wage, but also you live here, so I'm going to charge you a surplus for that, right? And then also, food is going to cost money out of your wages. So, like, existing here will put you into debt, and, like, you'll just be put into this thing where you essentially are just paying off your debt by working, but living costs more than you're making, so it just goes down this rabbit hole. Or sometimes they just don't pay them at all. And because fair trade can't police everything you do, you know, they go and they check for a good week. Yeah, everything seems good. Here's your seal. We'll see you later. And then, you know, you just go back to former practices. And it's just like everyone took a week vacation. Oh my God.
Shit's rough.
You know what?
And it's scary too, right? Like, it's scary because there's so much greenwashing shit now that like you can't even trust. Like the shit that I said, right? You're like, I'm an ethical consumer. I only buy these sustainable products. For anybody who watches the Patriot Act or has watched, I need to find this episode. So they have like this fast fashion claim. Like they have this like real wool dress. Mm-hmm. Would you like to take a wild guess at how much percentage of it is real wool?
I have no idea. Like,
just take a wild guess. You look at that. They call it, it's a real wool content, and it's a sustainable
51%.
4% is what they can get away with.
That's
for saying
wild.
That it has, because they didn't say it. They just said it has real wool content. It's an eco-friendly, sustainable. They just word it. It's not lying to you. It has real wool content.
That's crazy.
And anyway, my favorite part about it is the follow-up to it with "This is the punchline," is they show this lady walking out with her fucking decked out soap scrub dress.
Damn.
And this shit has the same ratio of wool to polyester and plastic materials that dress does, where the wool material is the little cotton thing on her head. She has like a little ball of wool on her headpiece.
The shit that people get away with in general is just kind of absurd. I feel like everything that you're told, like when it comes to advertising or marketing or just like product facts, like food, clothing, etc., you just kind of have to look at it and say, okay, what is their angle? Because more than half the time, they're just feeding you shit, right?
Yikes. Honest to God.